Hi guys, welcome to section B for this practice set 5. Should say past paper 2 on the front with these funny little asterisks on the front. So if you've not seen section A, do watch that first. Obviously the non-calculator one. This is section B for the calculator one, so you'll have your calculator obviously. It's a lot longer, it's 1 hour 30 compared to section A. But yeah, most of your marks are in this paper, that's why, obviously. If you don't have this paper already, or the previous one of section A, you can download these from the link below. Yeah, so have a look at the link in my link description. And if you're in my class, you should have it already, from Google Classroom. Yeah, so it'll already be there as well. Let's make a start on this. 1 hour 30 minutes long. Obviously you'll need a pen, calculator, and so on. Okay. Also for this one, I've just noticed in one of the questions you're definitely going to need one of these as well, a compass. Yeah. So definitely try and get one if you haven't got one already. You can get them from any stationery set, any news agents or supermarket. They sell them as well. Yeah. Let's make a start then. Question 1. Here are 7 numbers. Calculate the mean of these 7 numbers. So yeah, straight away. So you got to know what mean is. So mean is where you add them all up and divide by how many you've got. Yeah. So you definitely need to know this. So I know it's obvious, but you do have to show. You do have to show all of these. So you're doing 3.51 plus 3 plus 1.1 plus 4 plus 4.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.81 all over how many we got? 7 numbers. So let's work out the top bit. Obviously use your calculator for this one, don't do it manually. You should get 21.42 okay over 7. Yeah, so now you got to divide it by 7 and don't forget to press SD and you should get 3.06 as your answer. Yeah, don't forget to put it in your answer box here. Yep, 3 marks for that. Obviously you'll get 1 mark for showing you're working out here for adding them all up, and then you get your 2nd mark for showing that you're dividing by 7, and your 3rd mark is obviously for your answer. Yep, so 3.06. That's your answer for that one. Let's move on. Question 2. In a factory, the working week is from Monday to Friday. There are 46 working weeks in a working year. Part A says, calculate the number of days in 1 working year. So that tells you right there, in 1 week, that is Monday to Fridays, that's 5 days. So it's 5 days per week. 5 days per week, there are 46 weeks. So it's going to be, if it's 5 days per week, and you've got 46 weeks in a working year, it's going to be 5 times 46, isn't it? And let's work that out on the calculator. 5 times 46. It's going to be 230. Yep. Just 1 mark for that. That's part A done. Then it says, Nita works at the factory. She will get a bonus if her absence rate is 2% or less. This rule is used to calculate her absence rate. So you've got number of days absent divided by number of days in the working year times by 100, and then you've got your absence rate as a percentage. Okay, so Nita was absent from work for 9 days in the last working year. Does Nita get a bonus? Show why you think this. So yep, whenever you get anything like this, you just have to follow the rule. So you have to start off with number of days, obviously, which is 9 that she was absent, which says in the question, divided by the number of working. So you have to do it in this order. Yeah, don't start doing it in your own order that you think it should be. So 9 divided by Number of days in the working year, well, that's our answer from part A, which was 230. Then you got to times by 100, and it should give you your final answer. So you have to follow this order. So you have to follow this rule basically. So let's just stick it in the calculator. 9 divided by 230 times by 100. Ooh, we get 3.91304, and it goes on forever. 347, so on. And let's write that as a percentage. So yeah, it's roughly about 3.9%. What did they say? She will get a bonus if her absence rate is 2% or less. Right, so it's not less than 2%. So you can say, how should we write this? 3.91% is greater than 2%. So no. She will not get her bonus. Yeah. So yeah, just link it to your working out. So you do have to show that obviously it's more than 2%, or you can say it's not less than 2%. Either way, you're still going to say no, aren't you? Yep, there's your 3 marks right there. Question 3. Tina is getting broadband for her new flat. She finds this deal. So broadband deal, router normal price is £39.99, 50% discount on the normal router price. 18-month contract at £56.99 each month. Tina buys the router and an 18-month contract. Right, okay. Work out the total cost of this deal for Tina. 5 marks, wow. They give us loads of space as well. Yeah. So it's just like in real life, you know, like if you have any contract, even if it's like a, you know, even if it's like a mobile phone contract or anything like that, I'm sure you guys have got something similar. You have to pay for the router separately, and you have to pay for the monthly contract, obviously. So she's gonna go ahead with the 18-month contract. Yeah, that's what it says. So she buys the router and the 18-month contract. So she pays 18-month contract at £56.99 each month. Okay. What's the discount? Let's just double check the discount. 50% discount. Right, just on the router. Okay, so let's work out. Really doesn't make a difference which order you do this in. Let's do the 15% discount. So I need 15% of $39.99. Yeah, so that is 15% of $39.99. Yeah, me personally, I just do literally what it says. 15%, percent just means out of 100. Of, we say of in maths is times 39.99. Yeah, so if you just type that in your calculator, you can use the divide button for this line here. So you can literally type in 15 divided by 100 times 39.99. Yeah, you can do that in one go. It comes out with, and it looks a bit weird, but we get this. Okay, don't be tempted to round it yet, because this is not your final answer. Remember, it's 15% off, so we have to take that away from the original. So you have to take it away from $39.99 minus this discount, all of it. Let's just type that in the calculator. Right, you should get 33.9915. So shall I round it now? Yeah, let's round it now. So that's going to be to the nearest penny, £33 and 99 pence. Yeah. So if you got £34 as your answer, technically you would be wrong. You'll be a penny off. Yeah. I know it's just a penny, but still we have to be as accurate as possible. And you know, there are other ways of working out 15% off this amount, and however you get your answer, you should get 33.99 as your final answer, just for the router, by the way. Yeah, so we've just done the router on its own. On top of that, she has to pay 18-month contract as well, which is $56.99 per month. So let's do that. So 18 times 56.99. Let's work that out. Calculator. That gives me in pounds 1,025.82 pence. Yep. So altogether, total is going to be that plus 33.99, which gives us final total of £1,059.81. Yep. That should be your final answer. If you don't get that, if you don't get this answer, then you've gone wrong somewhere. So just double check. But yeah, there's your 5 marks right there. Let's move on to the next one. Question 4. Varney wants to cover a wall with a sealing mixture. She reads this information about how to make the mixture. Mix water with concentrate in the ratio of 5:1. Varney wants to make 9 litres of mixture. How much water and how much concentrate does Varney need to make 9 litres? Yep, okay. So any ratio question, I always write the ratio down first. So let's do that. So I've got 5:1. Okay, so the 5 represents the water and the 1 is concentrate, yeah, because it's the order that they tell you. So that's the water, that's the concentrate. Varney wants to make 9 litres of the mixture, right? So, well, the mixture is both of them together, isn't it? It's the water and the concentrate. So this is definitely the total. Yeah, so you've got the total. They've told you what the total is. They've said the water and the concentrate together is going to be 9 litres. So if we've got the total mixture, we need the total number of parts. So how many total parts have we got? So we've got 6 parts or 6 shares in total. Yeah, so those 6 parts must equal the 9 litres. So if 6 parts equals 9 litres, 1 part must be 9 divided by 6. Let's work out on the calculator. It's definitely going to be a decimal. Yeah, it's going to be 1.5. That's going to be in litres. So this bit here is your crucial bit here. Yeah, working out what 1 litre is. Sorry, what 1 part is. Once you've worked out what 1 part is, then it's dead easy. You can work out any number of parts for this question that it's asking for. So let's see what is it actually asking for. How much water and how much... Oh, it's asking for both of them. Yeah, let me just double check. Yeah, it's asking for both. So for water, let's do one step at a time. For water, water has got 5 parts. So that's going to be 5 times what 1 part is. Let's work out on the calculator. 1.5 times 5. 7.5 litres. There's your first answer. Let's put that in here. Yep. And concentrate is... Concentrate has only got 1 part from our ratio. So 1 part is just It's just 1.5, isn't it? Yep, and there's your second answer. And a good way of checking you've done it right, if you add these two together, you should get 9 in total, and you do. Yeah, if you add 7.5 and 1.5, you'll get 9 litres, which is what the original was. So yeah, 3 marks for that. Don't forget, it's not always the case where you add the parts and everything. It totally depends on what information they've told you in the question. So in this case, in this question, they have told us the total. Sometimes they'll say, oh, you know, you've only got 3 litres of water, or they'll tell you just about the concentrate. So if they just tell you a little part of it, you'll have to do it a different way, which is a different method to this. So just be careful. It's not always the case where you always add the two ratios together. Yeah, just do look for the clues in the question. But let's move on to the next one. Question 5. Joseph is making a template for craft work. He makes the template using 2 circles. 2 circles have the same center. The outer circle has a radius of 6 centimeters, and the radius of the inner circle is half the radius of the outer circle. Draw the template for Joseph in the space below. Center X is drawn for you. Ooh. So, can you see that? There's a little X in the middle. There's a massive space for you to draw the template. So, a template is just 2 circles. Yeah. And what do you use to make circles? It's definitely going to be compass. Yeah, so you're going to have to use a compass for this. How am I going to do this on here? I'm not too sure. I'll tell you what, I'm going to use my funny little compass on my screen, and let me just explain though what they're going to look like. So 2 circles have the same center, so obviously when you guys do it, you're going to put your compass point on the cross, yeah, and you're going to go all the way around with your circle. So the first circle, let's do the big one first. The outer circle has a radius of 6 centimeters. So when you draw your circle, you go all the way around. So your radius is from the center to the edge. That's going to be 6 centimeters. So when you use your compass, make sure you draw it out to 6 centimeters. Use a ruler and stretch it out to 6 centimeters. Just make sure it's exactly on 6. Yeah. So put the point on 0 centimeters and put the pencil side of the pencil bit on 6. Yeah, that's how you do it. And then put your point in the center. I know it's a bit fiddly, but the only way is by practicing. Yeah, I can't show you on here. The only way is if you guys just practice yourself, because it is dead fiddly. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. And we very rarely do stuff like this, don't we, in class, which is a bit of a shame, really. So yeah, do practice this. I'm going to draw it on here in a minute, because the second circle, the radius of the inner circle is half the radius of the outer circle. Half of 6 is going to be 3 centimeters. So you're going to have to do your radius for your second circle at 3 centimeters and draw another circle as well. So that's going to look like, obviously, something like that. And you're going to have 3 centimeters for the radius for that, from the center to the edge. So it's going to kind of look like a donut shape, kind of like this shape that they've just actually shown you. Just 2 circles, one big one, one small one. It's going to look like a donut shape, definitely. Okay, so I'm going to try my best and do it here and show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so yeah, mine looks a bit like this. So yours should look something like this. So you should have 2 circles, one big one, one small one, obviously. With the center in the middle, the cross is in the middle. Yeah, so just to clarify, this from here to here should be 3 centimeters. Yeah, and from here to here should be 6 centimeters. Yeah, so yeah, just make sure that the distance from the center to the edge for your big circle should be 6. From the center to the edge of your small one should be 3. Yeah. You don't need to put these measurements in. You just need to draw the 2 circles. Yeah, and that's what gets you your marks. Okay, yeah, just make sure you practice those because they are dead fiddly. But let's move on to the next one. Question 6. Harpreet wants to put tiles on the ceiling of a room. He has this sketch of the ceiling. Okay, right. Harpreet knows one pack of ceiling tiles covers an area of 3.24 meters squared. Costs £34.95. Ceiling tiles can be cut and joined. Okay, that's quite interesting. Calculate the total cost of the packs of ceiling tiles Harpreet has to buy. 6 marks for this. Again, a lot of marks for one question. But yeah, you do tend to get these type of questions in level 1, so you definitely need to know how to do these because they're worth a lot of marks. Again, you know, first things first, is it to do with area or is it perimeter? Yeah, always ask yourself whenever you get anything to do with shapes like this question, and look for the clues. Where's the clues in this question? So, oh, there you go. They're talking about area already. Look at that, covers an area, and they're talking about meters squared. Definitely to do with area. How do you work out area of an L shape or a compound shape? You could do it, there's a couple of ways you could do it. In fact, me personally, I like to split the shape into 2 rectangles. So let's split it this way. So I've got, let's call that shape A, let's call that shape B. I could have split it going up as well, makes no difference as long as you've got 2 rectangles. And obviously you need for area of a rectangle you need 1 length multiplied by 1 width. Yeah, so again this bit is essential, you need to know that. Yeah, area of a rectangle is length times width. So let's work out shape A first. I need this right here, I need the width of shape A. So can you guys see it's 9 all the way from top to bottom, but I don't need 9. I don't need this bit here, which is 5.5. So it's going to be 9 take away 5.5, which is 3.5 meters. Okay, and I've got the length, that's 11. So let's do area here. For area A is 11 times 3.5. Let's work that out on the calculator. And that gives me 38.5, and that's going to be meters squared. Okay, so that's area A done. What about area B? Let's work that out separately. Area B is, just move up a little bit, so it's definitely this times this, so it's going to be 4 times 5.5. Again, makes no difference which order you do those in. I could have done 5.5 times by 4, makes no difference. I should get 22 as my answer for that one. So the total area is 38.5 plus 22, which is 60.5. Yeah, so however you get your answer for your area makes no difference. You should get 60.5. You could have split it a different way. You could have made it into a complete rectangle, do it that way. There's loads of ways of working out the area. Don't get it mixed up with the perimeter though, don't forget. It's nothing to do with adding up the sides. You know, if you start working out the perimeter, you're not going to get anything for that. But you should get 60.5 meters squared for the area. That's the first step. So we've probably got, I reckon we've got 2 marks already so far. Probably even more. Maybe 3 marks. What is he asking for? She knows, or he knows, sorry, 1 pack of ceiling tiles covers this much area. and it costs £34.95. So one pack covers 3.24 meters squared. So how many of these go into that will tell us how many packs we need. So I need to divide it by 3.24. So I've got to do 60.5 divided by 3.24. Yeah, this should tell us how many packs we need. So 60.5 divided by 3.24. Yes. Okay, so I get 18.6728, and you can stop there. Packs. So 18 is not going to be enough. I'm going to need more than that, so I need 19 packs. Yeah. Don't forget, they did mention in the question, they did say that ceiling tiles can be cut and joined. So you can cut these up and just fill in the gaps and everything. So you don't have to worry about any gaps. In this case, you can just work out the total area, divide by how much one pack covers, and that will tell you how many packs you need. So in this case, you'll need 19 packs. What's it asking for? Calculate total cost, right? Well, each pack was $34.95. We need 19 of those, so 19 times, what was it? $34.95. This should tell us total cost. So 19 times $34.95. Ooh, you get £664 and 5 pence. Yep, that should be 6 marks right there. Just double check. Yep, we've used all the information. Calculate total cost. Yeah, definitely that's 6 marks right there. Yep, that's done. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Question 7. Grace works at a supermarket. The supermarket gives money to local groups. Grace wants to show customers the amount of money given to each local group. She has this information. Okay. Draw a bar chart for this information. Use 1 centimeter to represent £500 on the money axis. Ah, right. So they've already done that for you. See this, where they've got one big square. That's 1 centimeter right there. 1 centimeter on the paper. Yeah. So don't start using centimeters in on your ruler. They want you to use the scale. So definitely, let's do that first. So if that's 500 there, that's going to be 1,000 here. And that's going to be 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 3,000, 3,500. Let's go right to the top. Might not need all of these, but still, let's just do it anyway. So yeah, that's your scale for the money axis that they're calling it. So that is amount of money. Okay, so let's just call it that. Yeah, so that's the amount of money on that side, and obviously on the x-axis, or the vertical, sorry, the horizontal axis, you're going to do your local group. Yeah, don't forget bar chart. Don't get it mixed up with line graph. They're two different things. If you start drawing a line graph instead, you're not going to get anything. So make sure you draw bar chart. I know it's obvious, but I've seen people do other graphs, and you're not going to get marks for it because you're not answering the question. So I'm going to draw it here. Obviously, you guys draw it yourself on yours. You could space it out however you want, you know, as long as you've got a decent amount of space between each one. In fact, let's have a look. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different groups. How many boxes we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got plenty of space. We've got 12 boxes, or 12 centimeters squares. So I'm going to leave a gap, make a bar, leave a gap, make a bar, and so on. Yeah, so let's do that. Okay, so mine looks something like this. Hopefully yours is a lot neater than mine. Actually, it's not too bad. I'm quite pleased with that. So yeah, like I said, I did a space in between them. You don't have to, but I think it looks much nicer. Ideally, you want to fill the graph as much as possible. And don't forget, with your scale, because you've got 5 of these little boxes between 0 and 500. If I zoom in, let me just show you guys. Yeah, can you see these little boxes? That means each one of these little boxes must be 500 divided by 5, which is 100 each. Yeah, so it's going up in increments of 100 for each of these little boxes. So, for example, the first one was Youth Club. So Youth Club, let's have a look at Youth Club. That was 600. So 600 is going to be 1 square above where 500 is, yeah? So for example, which makes it a lot easier now, doesn't it, with our scale? So yeah, you should have something like this. Double check yours, just make sure yours is as accurate as possible. You know, if you're slightly off, you could lose marks for inaccuracy, so just be very careful. But yeah, hopefully yours looks something like mine. Let's move on to the next one. Question 8. Jacob is a florist. He designs an open box for flowers to stand in. The box is in the shape of a cube with a side length of 20 centimeters. Draw a net of the open box. Use the grid below to draw your net. So yeah, you definitely need to know what net means. So net just means, you know, if you have this box in real life, you open it up, what would it look like when it's flattened out? Yeah, so technically you would see all these faces joined up together. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at the bottom. You've got 5 faces, and each one's going to be a square, isn't it? 20 by 20 centimeters each. We haven't got the top because it's an open box, so we haven't got 6 faces. Definitely going to be 5. So what's our scale? Let's have a look at our grid. Oh, there you go. So at the bottom it says key 1 square length on the grid represents 5 centimeters on the cube. Right, so 1 square represents 5. So each one of these is going to be 4 squares. Yep, divided by 5, you're going to get 4 squares. So 4 squares by 4 squares. I'm going to draw it on mine. So the way I would recommend you do it, start off with the base in the middle and just work your way around that, and just attach your sides to your base, and you should get like your shape eventually. So if you imagine what it would look like flattened out, just think of it like that. If you can visualize it, what would it look like? Obviously it's going to look like in fact, let me do a quick sketch, show you guys. So there's your base. You're going to have this side here, that's going to be there, this side on this side, this front on this side, and this side, which we can't see, well, there's that one actually, is going to be there, isn't it? Yeah, so it's going to look like a cross, definitely. Yeah. So if you guys try it yourself on the grid, give it a go, and obviously it's going to be 4 squares for each one, isn't it? 4 squares for the sides, and yeah, just 3 marks for that. So I'm going to do it myself as well and show you guys in a minute what it looks like. Okay, so yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. So mine looks something like this. So obviously I've got my base in the middle, and I've got the 4 sides flattened out. Yeah, yours should look something something very similar. Obviously, don't start right at the top. Start somewhere in the middle and work your way around that. Yeah, that's the best way of doing it. Start off with your base and then go from there. Yep, 3 marks just for doing that. Let's move on to the next one. Question 9. Sandro is making cottage pie. Finds this list of ingredients. So this serves 8 people. That's quite important. Okay, let's keep that in mind. Sandro wants to make cottage pie for 12 people. Okay, he wants to know how much meat to use. Calculate the amount of meat Sandro needs to use. So it's only talking about the meat. So we're not interested in the stock, the tomato paste, or the potatoes, or anything like that. We're only interested in the meat. Okay, so that's a very important thing as well. So you don't have to work out everything for 12 people, just the meat. Yeah, so don't start working out all those other stuff. Waste of time. You're not going to get any extra marks if you do anyway. So how are we going to do this? Me personally, how are you going to get from 8 to 12 people? Well, it's a difference of 4 people, isn't it? So let's do a step in between. What would it be for 4 people? How do we get from 8 to 4? Well, I'll halve it. So let's halve, or let's divide it by 2 for 1500. So if you want to show you're working out 1500 grams divided by 2, it's going to be 750, isn't it? Yep, 750 grams. So that's for 4 people. So for 12 people, you could, I'll tell you what, let's just times it by 3. Yep, 750 times 3, you get 2,250 grams. So I needed that step in between. I couldn't go straight from 8 to 12 in one step, unfortunately. I needed that step in between of 4 people. Or you could have worked out what one person was. Go that way as well. Makes no difference how you get your answer. You still need that step in between though, because going from 8 to 12, it's just not possible to do it in one go. Well, it is possible. I wouldn't recommend it though. So definitely, this is a good way of doing it. You could have times it by 3. You get your answer. 2250 grams. Yeah. Or you could have just added it together. You could have done 1500 plus 750. You know, like how you do 8 plus 4 gives you the 12. You could have done it that way as well. You would have got the same answer, 2250. That's part A done. Oh, let's write in here. And part B, yeah, use a reverse calculation to show check. So we have to do the opposite of what we just did. So let's start off with 2250. What's the opposite of times by 3? Well, let's divide it by 3, and we're using our calculator, remember, so just stick it in your calculator. You should get, we know what it's going to be anyway, 750, what we were originally saying, weren't we? And you can go a step further if you wish. You don't have to. I don't think it's necessary. You can do 750 times by 2 gives you the original 1500. Yep, which is what they were talking about. So yeah, just to be on the safe side, maybe just do that step as well, just to show you're doing the opposite. That's that question done. Let's move on to the next one. Question 10. Jenny is a science technician. She carries out an experiment. Okay, Jenny records the temperatures from her experiment each day. Right. Calculate the range. Again, you need to know what range means. So don't forget there's 4 different types of averages. You've got mean, median, mode, and range. They're all different. So range is biggest, take away the lowest. So in this case, biggest one is, just to double check, that one there, 71.8. take away the lowest one, which is 65.2, that one there. Let me just double check. Yeah, it looks like it. 65.2. Again, let's just stick it in the calculator. 71.8, take away 65.2. You get 6.6 as your answer. Yeah, let's put it in the answer box. 2 marks just for doing that. Obviously, you'll need to show this bit of working out here. Your 71.8 take away 65.2. You do have to show that to get 1 of your marks. Your second mark is for your answer, obviously. Then it says, Jenny has included the range in her report. Okay, she must write another comment about these temperatures in her report. Write a comment about the temperatures. So a lot of people started writing about the range again, which is completely wrong. They don't want you to talk about the range again. They want you to talk about something else about these temperatures. So if you start talking about the range again, you're not going to get anything for that. So we have to talk about, let's have a look at the pan. What's going on with these temperatures? So it's going up slightly, isn't it? Look, from day 1 to day 6, the general trend is it's going up, and then the day 7 it's gone back down quite a lot, hasn't it? So let's write that. So you could say from day 1 to 6, from day 1 to 6, the temperatures in general were increasing, and on the 7th day it decreased, or something along these lines. Yeah, so yeah, you only need, it's just a short sentence, you don't need to go crazy, it's only 1 mark. Yeah, and you have to write a comment, by the way. Yeah, you can't show any working out or anything like that. They don't want you to show any working out. They want you to write a sentence, basically, what's going on. And don't start writing about the range again. Yeah, it wants you to do another comment. So do read these questions carefully and see what it's asking for. Yeah, because I did see a lot of people start talking about the range again, which is completely wrong. Let's move on. Question 11. Claire sells houses. She has this information about the purchase prices of some houses. Okay. Write in order purchase price of these houses. Start with the lowest. Okay, so we just have to write in order, don't we? Lowest to highest. So which one's the lowest one? Just by looking at them, I can see that definitely this one right here, that's got less numbers, isn't it? That's your lowest one. Then you've got this one right here, 121,000, yeah. Then we've got this one, 123,950. Then this one right here, 149,000. Just it's always worth checking, you know, the other ones just in case if there is one. So where am I up to? 149,000. So I've only got this one or this one left. So obviously this one's the next one, 249,000. And the last one is 389,000. Yep. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's all of them. Just to make sure you don't miss any. 1 mark just for doing that. Then it says, people pay stamp duty on houses with the purchase price of more than 125,000. Tick the purchase prices that are greater than 125,000. Well, another mark, dead easy. Which one's greater than 125,000? Definitely this one. this one, and this one. Yep, so you should tick those 3. Just double check. Yep, and that's it. Dead easy. Yeah, just tick the one that's greater than 125,000. You should tick these 3. And that's it. Let's move on to part C. Okay, so part C, this is the last question for the paper. So Alex buys a house. He must pay £255,000 for the house. He must also pay 5% of the purchase price in stamp duty. Calculate the total amount Alex must pay. Right, so we need 5% of 255,000. So it's literally 5% of 255,000. Yeah, you do literally what it says. Let's stick it in the calculator. 5 divided by 100 times 255,000. We get 12,750 pounds. Okay, so he must also pay that. So the total, yeah, it's on top of that, isn't it? Stamp duty. Stamp duty is on top of that. You've probably not heard of stamp duty before, you know, if you've not dealt with buying and selling houses before, or, you know, that's not the point. The point is that you know it's going to be on top of the purchase price. Yeah, he must also pay 5% of that. So he has to pay 255,000, and on top of that, he's paying this extra 5%. The fact that they've called it stamp duty makes no difference. You know, it's just 5% of the purchase price on top of the purchase price, obviously. So total is going to be 255,000 plus this amount here, which is, let's stick it in the calculator, plus that, you're going to get 267,750 pounds. Yep, that's your final answer. But yeah, that's that one done. And do keep practicing. Don't forget to like this video if you find it useful, and leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. Yep, I shall see you in the next video.